Hi, good afternoon. I'm John F. Garcia, 40 years old. I am here at Holiday Inn, Makati with my boss, Sir Nino. And ito yung mga namin, one of our events. So,
great thing. Well, I think today is a very special day as we will be learning a lot. Of course, including the people that are medyo mga matured na, but of course for the younger generation as well, right? And I can see that we are all part of that generation, the young generations. Yes? Excited, diba? All right. And of course, are we ready to...
Was known as one of the Howie Boys, friends of Randy Santiago, who literally did Howie duties for him by controlling the crowds of fans. In 1994, at the age of 28, Chinkee left showbiz and vowed to become a millionaire at age 35. He made his first million through hard work, perseverance, and frugality. He has since then mastered and succeeded in the industry of direct selling, networking, and sales. Chinkee Tan has evolved into an effective and charismatic multimedia personality. He anchors Chink Positive, an inspirational radio program on Radyo 5 92.3 News FM, with simulcast on Action TV every Sunday morning. On its first year in 2011, Chink Positive was honored as Best Radio Special at the 20th KBP Golden Dove Awards. Chinkee Tan is also a best-selling author and has written 8 books, including Till Death Do Us Part, Practical Steps to Financial Freedom, For Richer and For Poorer, Happy Wife, Happy Life, and many more. Chinkee is the first Filipino author who was recognized by the President of the Philippine Republic, Benigno C. Aquino III, for writing a financial book for the Filipinos. Chinkee is considered as one of the most influential experts on finances by various media outfits and has been featured in various magazines on the topic of money. Doing an average of 250 speaking engagements per year, Chinkee is now among the most respected motivational speakers in the country and even shared stage with no other than international motivational speaker Mr. Nick Vujicic. Chinkee Tan is committed to motivating people to become financially literate and debt-free. He speaks from the heart and has spoken to sold-out crowds, retirees, executives, private as well as government employees, students, church leaders, and out-of-school youth groups. He has helped and coached over 50 people to become millionaires in their businesses. Chinkee Tan practices what he coaches because he has found a balance in his personal and professional life to achieve wealth and happiness while devoting his talent to glorifying God. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome your wealth and life coach, Mr. Chink Positive himself, Mr. Chinkee Tan.
Nakita niyo naman ako, di ba? Okay, good. Kasi hindi ko kayo nakita eh. Again, good morning everyone. Really an honor and presence to be invited here in your presence. Just like to thank Amaya for sponsoring this event. Palakpakan niyo naman yung Amaya. At syempre, palakpakan niyo naman sarili niyo. Palakpakan niyo sarili niyo. Okay lang ba, may I request everyone to please stand up. Let us all stand up. Okay, stand up. And then, let us move our chairs. Okay. I know it's kind of challenging, no? Challenging a little bit. Para hindi tayo mahirapan. Kasi baka pagkatapos sa session, may stiff neck na tayo. Okay. Every day is a good day. Do you agree? Yes or no? Yes. Yeah. Before we start, I'd just like to formally introduce myself. My name is Chinkee, just like what you saw over the short video a moment ago. I used to be part of the local entertainment industry here in the Philippines, whether you believe it or not. Kahit ani maniwala, wala akong magagawa. Can you still remember Randy Santiago? Yes or no? Yes. I used to be part of this group called Hawi Boys, taga-Hawi ng mga fans. A lot of people are really curious. What's really the look behind the shades? Gusto niyo bang malaman kung ano talaga itsura ng mata ni Randy? Yes or no? Yes. Secret. Actually, before I got discovered, I used to be actually a double for Richard Gomez. Yes, I know the resemblance. No, totally. Grabe naman ako. Now, kidding aside, now, whenever I go to Quezon City, parati yung napagkakamalang mayor. Hindi ko lang alam kung bakit. Ex-mayor na, oo. Whenever I go to Channel 2, they always call me Anthony. I don't know also why. But this one I cannot deny for over how many years. Whenever I wake up in the morning, especially I haven't really taken a shower, I really look very different. I don't know also why. Walang basagan ng trip, kanya-kanyang trip lang to. Kidding aside, do you want this session to be fun and exciting? Yes or no? Yes. So if you want it to be fun and exciting, may I request everybody to please raise up your right hand. Raise up your right hand. Tap the shoulder on the one on your right and tell them fun is important learning. Come on. Raise up your left. Raise up your left. Tap the shoulder on the one on your left and tell them you look extremely funny. At least we're having fun. Sige, chill lang tayo. So, what do you expect in our short session? When I say short, normally I give a half day or a whole day session. Today, I'm going to share. But it's not also how much money you save, it's how much money you grow. Because even though you have a lot of savings, but if you do not know how to grow your money will devaluate in value. So, without further delay, if you have paper and pens, if you want really to take down some good notes, I would really highly recommend. But for some people who are here, you cannot see anymore the slides, no? Pretend na lang, pretend, and imagine that you can see it. No, as much possible, try to take down some notes. That's number one. Number two, my second request, when you attend this type of sessions, I highly recommend also that you only take one good idea. Everybody say one good idea. This one good idea can literally change the way you think, change the way you see things, and change the way you behave. It can change the destiny of your life. Because I always tell people, I also attend sessions. You cannot really get all the ideas all at the same time. Number three, treat the information I'm going to share with you today just like eating a piece of fish. When you eat a piece of fish, you eat the meat, you spit out the bones. Not every information may be applicable to you. If you find it doesn't apply to you, spit it out. It's a bone for you. But if you find it can work for you, take it in. Fair enough? Yes or no? Yes. So, first question. Who among you inside this room want to become wealthy? Sino sa inyo gustong yumaman? Taas mga kamay. Yung mga hindi nagtataas, mayaman na yan. Pwede na utanan mga yan. Let me start by saying, in order for you to become wealthy, it doesn't start with the amount of money that you have, the job that you have, the salary that you take. It all starts with having the proper mindset. Allow me to share to you the simple formula. It's called mindset plus action equivalent to what? Result. Repeat after me. 1, 2, 3. Mindset plus action equivalent to what? Result. Negative mindset, negative action, negative result. Positive mindset, positive action, positive. Wrong mindset, wrong action, wrong. Right mindset, right action, right. Garbage in, garbage out. What you sow is what you reap. You cannot live consistently to the way you think inconsistently. You can never win in life with a defeated mindset. Is that right? Yes or no? In order for us to win in life, should you possess a negative mindset or positive? Positive. Who among you inside this room, you consider yourself as a positive person? Raise up your hands. Great. Okay, let me test if it's really true. Okay? To prove that all of us, we have the same way of thinking, same wavelength. Okay, kindly finish the sentence for me. Ang Pasko ay Parang gano'n. Finish the sentence for me. Okay. Bago tayo sumakay ng eroplano, anong parating nasa mindset natin? Paano kung Bago tayo mag-exams, paano kung? Bago tayo magnegosyo, paano kung? Di ba, napaka-positive talaga natin lahat? Ang plan sa buhay, crash pay lugi. Be more real. Now, why is it much more easier to think about the negative rather than the positive? Why is it much more easier to think about the problem rather than thinking about why it's much more easier to complain about life rather than be thankful and grateful about your life? Unfortunately, how we were raised when we were young directly affects the way we view life today. Your world perspective is only a creation of your past. So just to prove my point, if you can still recall, when we were still young, our parents would often tell us, anak, gusto ko mag-aral ka mabuti para paglaki mo maghanap ka ng magandang? Is there anything wrong with working or having an employment? No, nothing. There's nothing wrong. How were we raised as Filipino-Chinese? Kami mga singkit. Diba? Anak, gusto ko ika-aral mabuti, ikaw laki tayo, maganda, negosyo. I have lots of Filipino friends when they graduate, they pass resume to big companies and corporations. We start our own buy and sell business just to call it as our own. Who do you think will have a better opportunity to earn more money? The one who looked for a job or the one who started a business? But what was the major difference? Was it the school that we went to, teacher that taught us, books that we read, exams that we took? The major difference was how were we mindset when we were young. Do you agree? Yes or no?
Yes.
So it's very important for you to understand the way you perceive things right now in life is only a reflection of your past. My next question, and I want you to answer this honestly, with all honesty. Who among you inside this room would say, for you, money is so easy to earn? Napakadaling kumita ng pera. Raise up your hands. Who among you would say right now that money is kind of challenging to earn? Can you raise up your hands? Who among you, no matter what I ask, you refuse to raise up your hands? Nandito na kayo, no? So, what am I trying to say? The reason why probably you said you have a hard time earning money, probably when you were young, you often hear this, okay, money is hard to come by, money is so hard to earn. O, di ba pag humingi ka ng pera sa magulang mo, wala pera, di ba? Ano, pera tumutubo sa lupa? Maglagay ka dito, maglagad ka dito, umabot ka sa bangko, makapulot ka ng piso, napakapalad mo. Di ba? Yes or no? Pagtipid ka, gastos-gastos mo. So because we were programmed to think that way, and I was also programmed to think that way. But when we were young, we were so idealistic. Ang tingin natin sa mga magulang natin negative. Mga nega kayo. Papatunayan ko na ako ang mag-aang sa ating pamilya. We're so idealistic. So we studied hard, we graduated, and then we passed our resume, diba? And we're so excited with our first paycheck. Ito na ang umpisa. Diba? Nung binuksan mo na yung first paycheck mo, dami deduction, SSS, GSIS, pag-ibig, PhilHealth, personal loan mo. And then you realize it wasn't anymore enough. And then after quite some time, you also surrender to the tama nga siya. Do you follow? Yes or no? So the point is this, your orientation of the past. No, we can never change the past, but we can sure change the future by making the right what? Decision today. First things first, before we go on to the practical side of investment and making your money grow, the reality is this. There are a lot of things that we believed in life that's really preventing us really from becoming wealthy. Our way of thinking. I don't know if you will agree with this statement. Look at me. Your way of thinking will dictate your way of what? Living. Wrong way of thinking, wrong way of what? Living. Right way of thinking, right way of living. This was mentioned to me by my mentor, no other than Mr. Francis J. Kong. I don't know if you know Francis Kong. Are you familiar with him? He's the brother of King Kong, the cousin of King Kong. So, one wrong way of thinking is this. I cannot start my own enterprise or business because I don't have. Have you ever heard that? Wala akong puhunan. Sir, no?
Yes.
So it's the wrong way of thinking. The right way of thinking is this. Money can never create money. I will repeat. Money will never or can never create money. Prove it. You give 1 million pesos to a person na walang kaalam-alam sa buhay. 1 million pesos to a person who knows nothing about it. You go back to him after 1 year, what will be his status? Will he be rich or poor? Poor, probably. Take away all the money of the owner of Ayala, Amaya. Take away all of his money and properties. You go back to him after 1 year. What will be his status? He will be rich again. Is that right? It's so strange. You gave this person 1 million, he lost everything, you took away all his money. When you come back, when you go back, he has what? Not only proves what? Even you have all the money in the world right now. But if you do not know what to do and how to use your money wisely, it will be gone. Do you follow? Yes or no? Yes. Second, wrong way of thinking. Have you ever heard about this? I just need to say this in Filipino. Sipagataga, magdadalisan sa Ginoo. Sipagataga. Hard work and patience will bring what? Success. Masipag ka lang, matyaga ka lang, magiging successful ka. Question. Is a carpenter hardworking? Is a painter patient? Yes or no? Are they wealthy? No. Because it's not complete. In order for you to become wealthy, hindi lang pwede sipag at tiyaga. Okay, repeat after me. Sipag. Tiyaga. Karunungan. Diskarte. Hard work, patience, knowledge, and you need to be strategic. Yes or no? Kahit masipag, matyaga ka, pero pag wala kang alam, forever carpenter ka. Maubusan ka na lakas. Pagkatapos na hindi ka na pwede mag-work, mahirap ka na ulit. Diba? Kahit masipag, matyaga ka, marunong ka, pero pag kulang ka sa it won't work also. If you're a carpenter, you shouldn't stick on carpentry alone. You should also know plumbing, diba? Electrical, diba? Also painting. So pagdating na panahon, all around ka na, overall, all around ka na, diba? Magiging foreman ka, promoted to foreman ka. From foreman, bubuo ka na ng grupo. Tapos angkat bahay na kayo. Then balik diskarte. Then check out, gising pa kayo. Then diba? And then from there, contractor. From contractor, you become a what? Developer. Ganun din eh. You start a small enterprise, sari-sari store. Pag mo, ano pangarap mo? Magkaroon ulit ng sari-sari store. No, from a sari-sari store to a mini store, from a mini store to a mini mart, from a mini mart to a grocery, from a grocery, then ano gets nyo? It should be upgraded. And likewise, this principle applies to us. I hope you don't only, okay, I'm just a normal employee. No, from an employee, you got to know everything. All around ka dapat. That's the reason why, please, don't choose your work. Yung parang, pag binigyan yung trabaho, why? Is that part of my job description? Kaya nga forever ganun ka eh. You don't take challenges. If I were you, I will accept any type of work inside our organization and try to know everything. So once I leave, I know how to run it and operate it. And sooner or later, I can operate my own enterprise. Is that right? Yes or no? Yes. One last wrong way of thinking. I don't know if you have ever heard about this. Umiinit na to. Ano kung minamicrowave dito ko. Nakakaramdam na ako. Baka makalbo sa dito. Yes or no? Ever since we were young, we were made to believe that. Do you know that's a wrong way of thinking? The right way of thinking is this. Learning from other people's mistakes and experiences is the best teacher. You don't have to commit all the mistakes in your life in order for you to understand it's a mistake. You don't have to be a single parent in order for you to understand how a single parent or a broken family feels. You don't have to lose all your money in gambling in order for you to understand how a gambler and how a bankrupt person feels. All you need to do is just ask people who have been there and done that. Is that right? Yes or no? Yes. Likewise, success. It's success in life. There are no shortcut to success. There's no what we call elevator to success. There's no escalator to success. But you can cut short your learning curve in success if you ask the right people. Agree? Yes. Anyone of you have tried traveling? Have you traveled? Yes or no? Or you do it yourself. And you have 3 nights, 4 days. And then you go to a country that doesn't speak English. And then, what will you do in 3 nights, 4 days? Keep on asking direction and asking the wrong people. You just lose your time. Compare if you get a tourist guide. Nagigets nyo ba? Someone who can bring you and then point you the right direction so you can maximize your time. Am I making sense? Yes or no? So right now, if you want really to become wealthy, it all starts with your what? Having the right what? Mindset. Because your way of thinking will dictate your way of what? Living. It doesn't really matter how sincere you are in what you believe. My question and my challenge to you, and I might offend you by saying this, but it's okay. We're not going to see each other anymore. No, the question and the challenge is this. Are you believing in the right things or are you believing in the wrong things? It doesn't really matter how sincere you are believing in what you're believing, but if you believe in the wrong things, it does not make it right. Hello? When I say hello, can you say hi? Hello? Does it make sense? Yes or no? And then I always tell people this statement. What you believe in life becomes the truth. Am I right? Yes. Once again, let me rephrase it. What you believe in life becomes your truth. What if you believe in a lie? The lie becomes your truth. Nabuhay kami ngayon. Mamamatay kami ngayon. Huwag ka mag-alala. Palilibig ka na ngayon. Wala pa negosyo sa pamilya. Ay, no. So right now, let me start. Okay. Can I start right now? Hindi pa lang yung intro. And we want to live comfortably. Do you agree? Yes or no? Yes. Mm-hmm. So, I will tell you, why should you and I take this seriously in terms of preparing for ano? This is out of the topic right now, but allow me to share with you. I created I'm sure you're familiar with cash flow quadrant of Robert Kiyosaki. Is that right? But I created my own quadrant to help people to retire comfortably. Okay, there are 4 things if you want to write it down. 4 things that you need to fulfill and complete in order for you to retire comfortably. Do you want to retire comfortably? Yes or no? Yes. First quadrant, you should learn how to make money. Everybody say make money. Make money. Like for example, you need to work, you need to start your own business, or if not, you can be you can go into a franchise. Just learn how to make money. The art of making money. Because I've never seen anyone who became wealthy without creating money. Is that right? Yes or no? Yes. Second quadrant, second part is learn how to save. Learn how to manage your money. Learn how to manage your money. Handle your money. When you talk about money management, it's learning how to save, learning how to budget, learning how to get out of bad debt. When you say bad debt, there are 2 types of debt, good and bad. Good debt, you borrowed money, it gives you revenue. Bad debt, you borrowed money, and then it doesn't give you any revenue or return. Okay, gets niya? That's the second, create and handle. Well, you're good in creating, even you're good in creating, but if you're poor in handling, you will lose everything. Agree? The third quadrant is what? Learn how to what? Grow. Everybody say grow. Grow. Grow your money. Invest your money. Even though you're good in handling, you're good in creation, but if you're poor in what? Growing, it will never work. And last but not the least, the most important quadrant is learn how to protect. Everyone say protect. Protect. Learn how to protect your money. Even you're good in creation, handling, growing, but if you're poor in what? Protecting your money, you will also lose everything. That's the reason why, talking about that, I work for TV5. I just came from my show this morning. Who among you are familiar with the show called Chinkee? Only intelligent people listen and watch the show. So if you want to be more intelligent, please, you're welcome to catch me every Sunday, 6 a.m. That's the only sacrifice that you need to do. No? You can watch it via replay. No? 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. at Radio 5 and Action TV. My guest a moment ago was Congressman Alfred Vargas, the actor before. So, talking about that, I work for TV5. As you most of you might know, the owner of TV5 is Pope and leaving, Manny B. Pangilinan. And then he woke up several years ago, around 4 years ago, he got depressed. And because of his depression, He purchased Asian Hospital, Makati Med, Medical City, Cardinal Santos, United Doctor Hospital, Cebu Doctor Hospital, Davao Doctor Hospital, Bacolod General Hospital. He has around 20 plus hospital right now under his company. Why would a businessman corner the hospital market? Something strange in the neighborhood. Who do you call? No, why? Come on, talk to me. Diba? Because he probably knows something that most of us do not know. Do you want to know what he knows? Yes or no? Let me ask him and I'll come back next time. Because he knows for a fact that 110 million Filipinos populations are aging. What does an aging market need? Medication, healthcare. Walang tawad-tawad doon. Pwede mo tumawad. Mas pilipat ka sa pa. You gets nyo? So, what I'm trying to say about protection, if you don't have one factor lang yan, healthcare, lahat ng ipon mo, maubos. Speaking from experience, my father's going to dialysis for 9 years now. 9 years. Per month. 12 times yun. Yung dialysis. Magkano? Nagigets nyo? Retired na siya. Wala na siyang income. Buti na lang. Di ba? The Lord provides. Then nagigets nyo? So yun eh. So very important yung apat na yan. But I cannot discuss everything right now. I'm just giving you a bird's eye view. I want to focus more on the issue of retirement. Why should you and I really seriously consider on how to handle this? Because at the age of what? 65, 45% of the Filipinos will be dependent on their what? Do you agree? Yes or no? And believe me, my friends, money is very relative. The more money you have, the more relatives you have. No money, no relatives. 30% are dependent on charity. But if you wait for the government, hopefully, I'm really praying, hopefully, that it would really improve. Especially this coming September that the universal healthcare system will be already introduced. It will cover all of the Filipinos already. And then number 3, 23% are still working. One time I took a Grab taxi. Guess how old was my driver? How old? 76. It was raining. It's night time, raining. And he was wearing thick glasses. Sabi ko, Tay, kita ko pa ba daan? Sabi niya, Iho, tadyahan na lang ito. And I politely asked him, sabi ko, Tay, ba't ka pa humataw? Sabi niya, gatas, milk. Ha? May ano ka ba? May asin ka pa? Epo. Out of 100 Filipinos, only 2 Filipinos can retire comfortably without thinking about money. Really, prove it. What if a couple retires at the age of 65? God extends our lives to another 20 more years. You live up to 85. Do we have grandparents who are 80, 90 who are still alive? Yes or no? My grandparents is 91 up to this very day still is running the marathon. The problem is, ulyani na hanggang hindi ka nakakawin. Missing person na po, missing person na. Let's just count the mean expense alone. Pagkain lang. Oh. How many times do a Filipino, 365 days, how many times do a Filipino eat in one day? Come on, talk to me.
3 to 4.
At least you're honest. Breakfast break, lunch break, diba? Dinner break, tapos midnight snack. We love to eat. 20 years times 2 persons, that will be a total of 43,800 meals for the last 20 years of your retired life. How much does a budget meal cost right now, today, sa Jollibee? 50. 1-piece burger steak without drinks. Ang drinks mo sa live ba? Project 20 years from now, will the price increase or decrease? Decrease. Come on, nag-thank. After 20 years, dollar exchange 1:1. Gasoline per liter, 5 pesos per liter. Umiinom na lang tayo ng gasolina, mas mura na gasolina sa tubig. Budget meal, instead of increasing, it decreased from 50 pesos, it becomes what? 25 pesos. Do you think that will happen? Yes or no? Come on. Do you think that will happen? Yes, it will. That would be the price of Lucky Me instant mommy noodles. For the rest of our retired na kinakain mo na lang talaga noodles. Kaya pag kinabas na, Lola, kamusta na kayo? Bok, chicken bok. When you multiply 43,800 by 25 pesos, how much do a couple need to save before they retire? At a count of 3, kindly read. 1, 2, 3. Basa. 1,095,000. Again, one more time.
1,095,000.
You and I, the vendor down the street, should save 1,095,000 before we retire so that we can eat noodles for the rest of our lives. I have 5 million pesos when I retire. Oh, 5 million or 1 million noodles. And you pray hard that you don't get sick. This is the problem with retirement. How long you're working right now? You're working. Are you earning? Or are you working for free? Are you earning? Yes or no?
Yes.
I'm working for free.
This is the problem. The moment you stop working, you stop earning. Yes or no?
Yes.
But you don't stop spending. You retired with a full what do you call full in terms of it's full to the brim, right? So, but the problem is this: the moment you stop working, you stop earning, but you don't stop spending. There's a hole. What if there's a tiny hole here? What will happen to this bottled water? It will slowly what? Diba? It will be empty soon. Yes or no? So the key, in order for us to be able to retire comfortably, is to create a consistent source of what? Cash flow. Even if you stop working. The concept of retirement is this: even if you stop working, income will never stop. What's the point of retiring broke and poor? You just imagine, all of our lives, we've been working so hard, and then the moment you stop, you go back to become poor again. You become broke again. That's pointless. That's the reason why we're so blessed right now. I always tell people, again, experience is not the best, but learning from other people's mistakes. You don't have to reach 65 for you to realize that you didn't retire with enough money. Am I making sense? Yes or no? So don't get depressed with this video, okay? Don't get depressed. Because I always say in my program, to every problem, there's always a what? If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Oh, waiting positive. So right now, I'm going to offer you 3 solutions, okay? Actually, there are 21 solutions to this, but I cannot really give you the entire thing. But if you want 3 solutions, and if you get this idea and you catch this idea and you run with this idea, I think this will be a good start already. Are you ready? Yes or no?
Yes.
Solution number 1, if you really want to retire comfortably and become wealthy, solution number 1. Solution number 1, never put your eggs in one basket. Have you ever heard this phrase? Yes or no?
Yes.
And oftentimes, this will be referred to investment. When you invest, diversify. Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Wrong. This doesn't apply. This principle doesn't first apply in investment. This principle must first be applied in cash flow. When you say never put your eggs in one basket, it's not in spreading your investment, spreading your money. You must also have multiple sources of what? Income. Come on, if you have one source of income, it's so dangerous. You have a high-paying job, and all of a sudden it downsizes or it merged with another company, and you got displaced because your position got redundant. So you lose your income. How many OFWs, once they come back, they become displaced because they only know how to do one thing. Nagigets nyo ba? So it's very important because name me one billionaire, not one millionaire that has only one source of what? Income. Diba? From the Ayalas, from the C's, from the Bohongways, from my uncle, si Lucio. What's his surname? What's my surname? What's your problem? It's my uncle in my dreams. Gets ko ba? Multiple sources eh. We want to become like them, but we are not following them. Should you say that we should open malls? And no. You don't copy the models. Model doesn't work, but principle works. So first things first, never put your eggs in one basket. So if you're an employee, you must be also open for other income opportunities. But before we talk about other income opportunities, let's apply the second rule first. The second rule, if you violate rule number 2, rule number 1 will never work. Okay, what's rule number 2? Basa. One more time. Never kill the goose that lays the golden egg. So among the sources of income that you have currently, or you don't yet have probably, you check what is the one that gives you the most consistent, the highest return. So what do you need to do? You got to protect that source of what? Income. Never do anything that will have a conflict of what? Interest. Or else, just because of greed, you might shoot yourself on the foot. Not every opportunity is an opportunity because some opportunities are really actually distractions. Nagigets nyo? Well, like for example, hairdresser ka. Diba? Tapos sabihin sa iyo ng diba? Kung tinatamad kayo sa bahay, sa service ako na lang kayo. Well, that's a conflict of interest because you're stealing clients from your boss. Do you follow? You cannot do that. So if you want, you create new clients outside that is not the clientele of your company. Do you follow? So if you know that right now, let's go right now to other sources of income. And allow me right now to borrow Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. And I'm sure most of you are familiar. But for those people who are not familiar, allow me to share it with you right now. Number 1 source of income is employment, your job. You have a job. Employment is good, but we need cash. No, in reality, employment income is limited. Is that right? But expenses are unlimited. So you start with that. Okay. And the second thing, what you need to do, from Monday to Friday, so you look for another opportunity. The second opportunity probably you can look into is SE. SE is self-employment. You can go into sales, real estate, insurance, direct selling. Okay, that's additional income. Monday to Friday you work, Saturday, Sunday you go in part-time and sell. You can also do online selling if you want to. Is that right? Yes or no? Question, who among you are not sales type? Because you're too shy, you don't even talk to yourself. Then you're not non-sales type. If you're a non-sales type, fine, you can still earn money. My question is, what is your core competence? What is your profession? Like for example, I have a friend who's an accountant. He's a good accountant. So he told me he was in debt. He doesn't have savings. Sabi ko, what do you do on a Saturday, Sunday? No, I just stay home with my family. So why don't you use your time on a Saturday, Sunday? Why did you start doing bookkeeping for small entrepreneurs? So I was one of the first client for so many years already. So, and then from one client, it grew up to 10. And I know how much I'm paying him during the time. So I multiplied it. And I asked him politely, sabi ko, sana mas malaki na. Where do you earn more right now from your employment, self-employment? He smiled back at me and told me, from self-employment. And I asked him, why don't you earn more, resign so that you can have more? You know what he told me? The reason why I opened another basket is for me to add, not for me to deduct. Some people made the mistake just because they out-earned their first income, they left their first. And that's so crazy. You're back to one income. And with the self-employment, it's not guaranteed because anyone can terminate. Is that right? With your present employment, you have lots of benefits, unseen benefits like medication, di ba, yung mga health. Nagigets nyo? So try to weigh it first. And to the point, he's smart enough to keep both of them. To the point, there's so many more people who are interested but he doesn't have time. But he still keeps on what? Accepting. Tinatanggap niya. Oo. Swapan eh. Ganib eh. But he was smart. You know what he did? He hired other accountants to work under him. He started already his own what? Business. He has already his own firm. He has a managing partner. So his managing partner runs the firm from Monday to Friday. He goes there on a Saturday to check it out. So how many sources of income does he have right now? 3. Agree? So again, let's go back. First principle is never put your eggs in one. Number 2, never kill the goose that
These are called the nick.
Let's go to the third. Okay, the third principle in terms of making your money multiply. Okay, that's part of the quadrant which I mentioned a moment ago. Learn how to make money, learn how to handle money, learn how to what? The third, grow. Everyone say grow. So the third secret is you should learn how to grow your money. How do you grow your money? You should learn how to what? Invest. Investing. It's all about investment. So there are many types of investment. Okay, UITF, mutual fund, forex, stock market, property. There are many, but I just want to focus on one because that's not my entire topic right now. But even before we talk about investment, okay, who among you really want to learn how to invest? Do you want to know what is the best investment nowadays? Yes or no? The best investment is try to invest first in yourself. Education. Remember what I just mentioned a moment ago? Wrong way of thinking, wrong way of living. Nobody planned to become poor, but many people ended up to become poor. Nobody wants to run a what? Business that will lose money, but many people lost money. Agree? Nobody wants to be scammed, but many people were scammed. So the reason why they were scammed, the reason why they're not successful, because they're not aware. They're not familiar with what they're doing. Naiintindihan nyo? Mahirap gawin ang isang bagay kapag hindi mo alam. Kaya huwag mo muna tayo, you have money, huwag mo na mag-invest. Alamin mo muna, is this the right investment for you? Until such time you are really sure, that's the time you bring out the money. So talking about that, alam mo, let's simplify. Gusto nyo isang investment na no-brainer? Na no-brainer? Yes or no? Yes, Chinkee. Ano ba yung no-brainer na investment? Like, if you don't want to talk to me, I can talk to myself. Secure ako, secure. Again, this may sound, how should I say this? This may sound biased, but this is the truth. Okay? The best investment, talagang yung grade 1 elementary talaga, na hindi ka na mag-iisip, is property. Land. Why should you invest in property? Okay. Let me move on to the thing. Let's move on. Once a land is occupied, it's just like matter. You can only occupy one space at a time. Once a property is already used, you cannot anymore build on top of it. Unless the same owner, di ba, condo, that's the reason how they build, they build up. But once the land is purchased already, that's it. Number 2, everyone what? Needs it. As the population grows, there will be more demand for houses. Diba? Sometimes yung parang, have you ever thought about this? When I was young, medyo foolish na ng konti eh. Sabi na, dami naman TV. Sino bibili ng TV? May TV na kami, hindi naman kami every month nagpapalit. Diba, paano sila nabubuhay? Because we fail to understand, diba, they're building eh. Every time when you build, diba, build a hotel, build a condo, build a house, you need TV. Is that right? Yes or no? And it makes you what? Okay, to prove that it really makes you wealthy, it's not bias. Okay, right now, ito na gawin natin. Let's state some facts, no? Yung parang historical facts. Because numbers cannot what? Lie. These are sources from real sources. Talks about capital appreciation. Dasma, Forbes, Urdaneta, San Lorenzo, and Bel Air. Let's focus on Saan tayo nakafocus, Brian? Forbes. Sa Forbes tayo. 1962. Who among you were born in the year 1962 and below? Okay lang, kahit di nyo umamin. Halata naman. You didn't know that in Forbes Park, 1960 was only 88 pesos per square meter. Sino may 88 pesos ngayon? You can buy 1 square meter na. Diba? 88. But in the year 2008, already, it became 72,000 pesos per square meter. 72,000. So if we look at the capital appreciation of this, okay? Ayaw gumalaw. Yeah. 72,000 divided by 88, it multiplied by 818 times. Talo pa yung mga investment scams. 818 what? Times. So let's put, let's say you purchase 1,000 square meter, 88,000 pesos. Diba? I'm sure karamihan sa atin dito may 88,000 na sa bangko ngayon. You multiply 88,000 by 818 times. That will become what? Yung 88,000 na original amount mo will become 71 million today. No, 2008 pa lang, not today. Let's look right now at 2015 because that's the latest data that we have. It's around 160 to 250,000 per square already in Forbes. Pero right now, hindi na. 400 plus na ngayon. 88 times 1,088. Right now, it became what? Not 818 times. It's multiplied by 1,818 times. So, yung original 88,000 mo, naging 159 million, 159 million. So, in other, nagigits nyo? Alam ko may 159 million ako ngayon. TV ko na lang. Alam TV? Time deposit. Diba? Kung talagang gusto ko mag-play safe lang. And live within that, nagigets nyo ba? So, you just purchasing a piece of what? Land. And the reason why it's really so good, because it's very what? Simple investment. Binili mo, iniwan mo lang. Kahit di mo tayuan, you don't build anything, you don't build any infra, you just what? Leave it there. Do you follow? Babantayan mo ba? Hindi. Diba? Oo, baka ma-squat. Siyempre, pag sa labas ka bumili, siyempre may squat yan. Nasa village nga O, anong may mag-squat, yung mga gwardya. Now, it's a very simple investment. And then not only that, we're only talking about selling the property. What if you lease it out? Di ba, pinapaupahan mo? Babantayan mo ba yan? Di ba? Yung pinapaupahan. Ano yan? Ano ginagawa niya? Pinalagaan mo nila? You don't even care. Meron namang band Then nagigets nyo. Ay nako. The reason why I have so much conviction in sharing this with you guys, it's not because I'm a teacher, but I'm a practitioner. I learned this from my parents. My parents are very simple-minded people. They never finish formal schooling. So simple lang sila. We started to rent a house, 500 pesos per month. Tapos naging 3,500, naging 10,000. And then, I just find it kind of strange. Siguro it's a typical Chinese family. We rarely take vacation. Oo, kasi walang bantay tindahan. And then hindi kami nakapagbakasyon. Until such time, I was in college. No? Yung talagang very rare na magbabakasyon. Yung kaibigan ko, yung pamilya, bakasyon, kami hindi. Tapos, one time na lang, dinala ako ng parents ko sa isang townhouse that was in the year 1984 or 85. Dinala kami sa isang townhouse. Tinignan namin. 70 plus square meter ang lot, tapos floor area 200, built up Tapos nakita namin, wow, maganda talaga. Sabi niya, maganda ba? Oo. Sabi niya, patapos na. Sabi niya, next month, nilipat na tayo. Nagbebenta na kayo ng days. Sabi ko, where did we get the money? Sabi niya, remember those times we were not taking the vacation. All of the money went into this room. So to cut the long story, they were able to buy two. Alam mo bakit? In 1984 and 85, 200 square meter na townhouse, 300,000. So they were able to buy two. So to cut the long story short, we stayed there. After 10 to 12 years, they sold it. Sold it for 3.5 million. Tinira na, nagigets nyo? Tinira na namin, di ba? Wala kami binabayad na rent. Kung magbabayad kaming rent, 10 taon yun, laking pera nun. Tama? Lagay mo kahit 10,000 naman. Malaki na yun. Plus the fact, nag-appreciate yung pera 10 times. So nabenta yung dalawa, simple math, simple-minded people, they purchase another unit sa may townhouse ulit sa may Quezon City area. Sa may Quezon City. My first investment was really on condominium units. Kasi simple to maintain. Diba nagigets nyo? Tapos security. So nabili ko, tumira ako doon for so many years, and after that, napaupahan ko pa ng 10 years. 10 years, napaupahan ko. And I have a rule when it comes to investment. Especially with property. I have a rule of 10. Everybody say rule of 10.
Rule of
Ako, in-average ko, I always seek for at least 10% return of my money. So if I invested 2 million pesos, so it means I should have it leased out at least 200,000 in a year divided by 12 months, more or less around 15 to 18,000 per month. If I can lease it out for 15 to 18,000, that's really good for me. Why? Do you want to know why? Sige, gulong ko na lang. Number one, because if I put my 2 million in the bank, it will not yield me 10%. Yes or no? So right now, I'm able to put it at a higher income return in terms of revenue return, plus the fact, it will protect my money from devaluation. Because if I have 2 million, even though it earns interest, but my money devaluates in time. Nagigets nyo? You know what happened? After 10 years of having it leased out, may return na ako kasi 10 times 10 is 100%. So kung ano man nilabas ko, nabawi na. Tama ko mali. And then I was able to sell the 2 units. Yung condo na nirent ko. Pinarent ko at a higher price. So nag-appreciate ulit yung pera ko. Hello? So, nagigets nyo, this is so simple. Hindi mo kailangan talaga ng scientist. Hindi mo kailangan magbasa ng graph. Why? Based on history, look at the prices of property. Kailan bumagsak? Wala. Now, let's talk about the present. Do you want to talk about the present? Yes or no? Yes. There's what we call as a phenomenon that's happening right now in the Philippines. There's what we call as the China invasion. As a matter of fact, 2 months ago, if you felt the earthquake, did you feel the earthquake 2 months ago? Not only in Luzon, even in Visayas and Mindanao. Because China is pulling us already. We're getting nearer China already. Hinihila na tayo. Next time, pag-akbak mo, China na. Diba? Kiniklaim na tayo eh. So this is a great concern for us. Good and bad. Good for the economy, bad for us. Because of the influx of the Chinese people, the 4th generation Chinese. They started to push the prices, everything up. And just to give you an idea, sa may MOA area, pag bumili yan ng condo, cash. They don't have credit card. When they buy anything, Alphard, di yung sasakyan, cash. We call this, I'm also Filipino Chinese, we call them paka. Paka. Oh, paka kasi they're from the north. These are not poor farmers before. Right now, yung anak nila, natuto ng technology, yumaman, nagkapera. And at the same time, their money is much more stronger than us. What is to eat? So, nagigets nyo? They're pushing the prices of rental of property, and then in terms of per square meter also, it's going up. Dati nga naalala ko yung last ko it's 100,000+ pesos per square. Pero right now, doon sa may bandang MOA, it's 300,000+ per square in less than 4 years. So imagine mo, nag-multiply yung pera mo ng 300 times. Not only that, ngayon, challenge ko sa inyo. Maghanap kayo ng helper, house help. Why? Because they're paying 10,000 pesos per month. Para sa kanila, 10,000 is nagigets nyo? Pero para sa atin, nagigets nyo? Yun eh. So nagkakaroon ng phenomenon. What am I trying to say? If you do not try it right now on this way, baka mapag-iwanan kayo. Nasasabihin mo, ay, sayang. Yes, the other day lang, I will not mention his name. He bought a property at another development at 12 million pesos yung property. That was, I think, 3 years ago. Ngayon, may isang Japanese na gusto na bilhin yung property niya at 25 million. 3 years pa lang. So, nagigets nyo ba yung pag-appreciate? So, to cut the long story short, it's up to you guys. If you really want a simple investment, one of the best investment that you can get into is what? Water. Are you learning so far? Yes or no?
Yes.
So right now, this is what I'm going to do. I have a few more minutes. May Q&A ba tayo? Can I open the floor right now for question and answer? I will post a cell phone number. May cell phone number tayo dito. We will post a cell phone number on the screen. So you can text the question. So I would love to answer your question. But for those people who might not be able to see if you want to ask a question, all you need to do is just raise up your hands. If you're kind of embarrassed, all you need to do is raise up again your hands and you say, I'm asking in behalf of my seatmate. For those people who are not there, you want to type this down, 0916 170 7116. 0916 170 7116. Type any questions that you would like to ask. When it comes to investment, I would highly recommend, especially, sino sa inyo, you have plans really to own your own property. Even though you don't have probably right now the financial capability, from your income right now, you should already set aside a specific amount that you need to set aside in order for you to invest on property. Do not wait until such time that you plan to buy one, this time you would set it aside. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, question. Who among you own a car right now? You own a car. Normally, how many years do you change your car? After how many years? 5, right? So, right now, you have a car. Let's say it's paid for. And you know for a fact, in 5 years' time, you're going to buy a new one to upgrade. Yes or no? You should already set aside a specific amount as early as now on the 5th year. Or let's say, sige, mabebenta mo siya, may cash kang konti, you need still 20,000 pesos probably. Or probably, let's say 10,000 times 12, 120 times 5 years, that's 600,000. You need an extra 600,000 on the 5 years. So right now, you should already set aside 10,000 pesos per month as part of your budget. So once you reach that year, you will have the ready cash of 600,000. You can buy the car in cash. Diba? Nagets nyo? Nabenta mo na, tapos plus the 600,000, you will have a better car. Kailan ka magpaplano? Kailan ka magsisave? Dapat as early as now. This principle also works with property. So dapat as early as now, nag-i-invest ka na. As a matter of fact, I just paid off another new property. Kakabayad ko lang. It was a 10-year, what do you call this, mortgage. But I was able to pay it in 4 years. But you know what we did? We paid it, so we're not paying anymore the monthly. Is that right? But we opened another account and we continue to pay. We continue to invest that amount of money for our next land. Nagigets nyo? We did not take it out. Kasi investment yun eh. So pag may pera, ganito yan eh. Alam mo, in the 21st century, ngayon, sa panahon ngayon, cash is king. Everyone say, cash is king. One more time. Kashing. When you have cash, you can dictate. Someone wants to flip their property, they're just in a rush. Okay, if you want to sell, you sell it as a buyer's price, not as a seller price. Do you follow? Next question, please.
Coach Chinkee, what property is best to buy, RFO or pre-selling?
RF means ready for occupancy. Pre-selling naman, ang binibili mo pa ng promise. So if you want to buy, if you don't have really that much fund, because in RF, you need to pay already equity on top of that. medyo malaki na yung amount na babayaran mo. If you don't have really much money, you can buy what we call as yung pre-selling. With pre-selling, just make sure buy from trusted companies. I hope you understand. I'm not trying to be pero kasi ayoko maging self-serving ba. Alam niyo naman yung mga trusted companies di ba? Di ba itong kumpanya na ito, yung mga Ayalas, alam mong matagal na, hindi tayo lulukohin. Hindi ka bibili sa Mabuhay Real Estate Company. Di ba? Tapos nung nagbayad ka na, hindi na nabuhay, namatay. Hindi, nagigets nyo ba? Huwag lang yung ay kasi mas mura It cannot be Kasi you're investing, sana bumibili ka ng yung 5,000, 10,000 kung magkamali ka. It's okay, you can write it off. We're talking about hundreds and millions Cannot take that risk. So that's number one. Pero if you really urgently, you need to move in already, you go for RFO, ready for occupancy. And then ito lang tip ko sa inyo Hello? Hi! Pag may nagustuhan na kayo ng property at alam niyo naman maganda potential, kahit magkano, bilhin nyo na. Huwag nyo nang hintayin. Hindi, Tapos pag tumaas na, alam mo na, offer sa akin na ganito yun Hindi nagigets nyo ba? You do your own math. How many times na hinayang ka? That's what I always tell business people also Kunyari, prime lot, commercial property. Kunyari, ang real value lang is let's say 300,000 per square, binibenta na 400,000 per square. It will never grow, that prime lot. The commercial property yan. Kung 400,000, kung tinitignan mo naman, hindi lang 10 years, 50 years, pag 50 years time, hindi na 400,000 yan Nagigets mo? Bibiliin ko na rin yun. Kasi hindi ko na makukuha yun Pakitain mo na yung una, baka kabawi ka rin naman. Next question.
What is better payment mode in buying a house and lot? Through bank or pag-ibig?
Ako, I will always go for pag-ibig. Kasi syempre, mas mas mababa yung interest. Di ba? Kung may pag-ibig kayo, yung maximize pag-ibig. Kasi talagang yung tulong yan Sa pag-ibig ba, ilang percent na ngayon? 5 or 6, di ba? 5 or 6. Kasi minsan sa bangko, mas mataas pa Hindi, gumagalaw pa Oo, di ba? Gumagalaw yun So, I would go for what? Pag-ibig talaga. Next question.
How can you balance your investment between properties and other kinds of investments like the stock market?
But it all depends on your priority. What's your priority right now? If your priority talaga is really for property, I would invest my money first in property. It depends sa priority Nagigets nyo ba? Kunyari, priority mo, education ng anak mo versus bakasyon. Anong gusto mo? Diba? Wala munang bakasyon. Edukasyon muna. Tama? It all depends on your priority. Next.
Personally, how do you budget your income? Like how many percentage do you put in investments and personal use?
Let me tell you this truth. Percentage doesn't really work. When you say, it may work for you, me, but it may not work for you. Different stroke for different folks. What you need to copy again is not the model. You copy the principle behind the model. Let me tell you my principle before when I started. My principle was this, 50, 25, 25. Repeat after me. 50, 25, 25. 50% of my money goes to savings. 25% for business, for investment. 25% is for what? Expenses. Whenever I earn 1 peso, 50 cents goes to savings, 25 cents for investment or business. 25 cents I can spend. If I want to spend 1 peso, I have to earn how much? 4 peso. 2 peso savings, 1 peso for what? Business, 1 peso for what? Spending. If my current lifestyle is 100,000, I have to earn how much? 400,000. 200,000 savings, 100,000 business, 100,000 I can spend. Ever since I was young up to this very present day, whenever I spend, I get to enjoy. Why? Because the more money I spend, the more I want. Save. But because my priority and default is not spending, it's what? Savings. But if you follow that, if you follow the principle, that formula, alam mo, araw-araw ano kakainin mo? Skyflakes, malutong, kahit anong ipito. Papayat ka. Naka-Skyflakes diet ka. No, it will work for me because ever since I was young, I was programmed to think like that. So you copy the principle. What's the principle? Certain portion goes to saving, certain portions goes to business or investment, certain portions for spending. Probably you start with 10 or 5, 5, 90. Yeah, 5% save. Nagigets nyo? Or then once you earn more, what do? You don't increase your spending. you increase your what? Savings. So, gawin mo ng 10, nagigets nyo? Yun. Don't believe the formula. Oh, sige, bigay sa yung formula, sundin mo. Di ba? Di ka nakakain. Copy the principle behind the formula. Sige, one more question.
What is your advice to those people who are still renting an apartment for 5 years already?
Okay, that's a good question. Kung mong you are currently renting, yayaman pala. Maling tanong. Sino nakikitira? Probably, this is the right, probably question. When is the right time to buy a property? No, it's not only now. 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 Ito yun eh. Sino sa'yo nagre-rent kayo? You're renting. More or less, madam, more or less, how much your rent? Yung budget? 7K. Oo. So when will you know that it's the right time for you to buy? You ask yourself, how much can you stretch on your rental expense? From 7,000, how much can you stretch up sa budget mo? 7,001? Hindi, anong kaya mo? Yung 9. Oh. 7 to 9,000. If someone can offer you, tulad sa pag-ibig loan, di ba? Na 7 to 9,000 pesos per month na rent to own, 7 to 9, you should buy it. Why pay for rental if you can own it? Sa'yo na yun eh. Tama? If it's 7 to 9, what if someone offered to you your dream house? Diba? Grabe. Talagang taas ng ceiling, walang bubong. Diba? Pero dream house mo yun. Diba? Nature. Oo. Walang walls din. Oo. But they're offering to you at 11K a month. 11K. Pero talagang gustong-gusto mo yung property. Should you buy it? Yes or no? Diba, ang budget mo 7 to 9, ang max. Pero na gina-offer 11. Should you buy it? Yes or no?
No.
Why?
Kasi hanggang 9.
Sakto. She gave the right answer. You can pay it probably for a few months, but you cannot sustain it because your capacity to earn is only up to 9,000. Nagigets mo yung budget mo. Ayan nga, that's the reason why some people na de-default. And we don't want people naman to default on their payment. Nagigets nyo? So you ask yourself, well, how much is your stretch for rental budget? Okay? Are we okay? Are we done? Meron pa? Meron pa isa. Sige, meron pang dito. Meron pa dyan. Meron pa dyan. You need to come to a point in your life that you hate your situation. Paying off your debt is not borrowing from another person and paying another debt. You're digging a deeper grave. Di ba, imagine mo, nag-uhukay ka, padalim na yan. Say change your lifestyle. Do you still eat out? Probably with your family. When you eat out, that's the cost of one. Sir.
Hello, yes, do you consider REIT as an alternative real estate investment?
Ano ba?
REIT.
Ano yun?
REIT.
Ano yun? Spell?
REIT. R-E-I-T.
Ano yun?
I don't know.
Ay! Really? Ano yun? Sa stock market ba yun? This is the first time I've heard about that. I'm sorry.
Ano kasi siya parang...
Ano?
Ano kasi siya, what do you call this one?
Ano yan? Land banking?
Hindi, what do you call this one? Parang ano siya, investment din siya. Pero ang investment is more on real estate. Then you have some income with it. So you're familiar.
Bumibili ka ng property?
No, parang ano siya, security siya. Pero yung...
Security. Sorry, I cannot answer that. No, I have to ask my uncle siguro.
Sir, a personal question lang. Like, do you have any morning rituals or night rituals that you do to jumpstart your day? Or do you read? Do
Yeah,
you
sure.
have this?
Yeah, every day when I wake up before I put my makeup, the first thing I do, I read the Word. I read God's Word. I get direction from God because I do believe, again, you may not believe in what I believe because it's a personal belief. Because I do believe everything comes from Him, that I can only do all things through Him who strengthens me. It is God, it is Him who gives me the ability to what? Produce well. So that's the first thing I do. And every day, every single day, I I really read, not only the word, but I really learn every single day. I make sure that every day I learn something that is what? New. In this time, there's no you are making. So I surrounded myself with 50, and I started making 50, and then from 50 to 6 digit, from 6 digits per month to 7 digit. Right now, I'm looking for people who can teach me the 7 digit. Then you get so. Ganun talaga. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next.
Yung China invasion. Kasi ngayon, we have a lot of opportunities, yung mga property owners, to lease their properties to the Chinese, usually mga workers here.
So, anong question?
Ngayon, how is it a wise decision to have your property rented to Chinese na ang scheme nila is parang halos gawing dormitory yung property mo. Like for example,
Ano yung condo ka ba? Condo?
yes, it's a condo and they want to rent it, they'll pay in cash 1 year in advance.
Tama.
Pero 12 ang titira and they want everything removed from empty your place and then they will put mga double beds and yun na nga. Ang fear ko at that time,
Baka mababoy.
I decline. Kahit na medyo
Tempting yung offer.
very tempting yung offer. But, you know, I got my senses and sabi ko, baka I don't know how these people will handle the property. Baka I will be spending more sa maintenance and repair.
Okay, ganito. This is how you deal with it.
They are willing to pay in cash
Yes,
and
madam.
1 year in advance.
Yes, ganito. It all depends on your, you are the investor. They cannot twist your arms to give what they want. Pero para sa akin, siyempre, ipaparent ko, kunyari, space lang yun, tanggalin ko lahat. Pero ito ang gagawin ko. 1 year advance, tapos 6 months guarantee, 6 months bond. Hingi ako ng 6 months bond. Babuhin nyo man yung condo, yung 6 months ko, check ko kung kaya ko. Nagigets nyo ba? Security deposit. Kasi normally security deposit they ask only for 2 months. I will ask for 6. So I will compute. Kahit na masira lahat yung mga, pintura, kahit bakbakin yung wall, ko-compute ko na. Oo. Kung kaya naman sa 6 months, di sige. Babuhin nyo na. Babuhin nyo na. Hindi, nagigets mo ba? Ano naman yan eh? Diba? Nagpapukpok sila. Hindi naman masisira talaga. Hindi, may nakimbutas na. Lumagpas na. Hanggang sa kabilang kwarto na. Hindi, nagigets nyo. So ano naman eh, pati yung mga CR, gano'n. So compute mo, magiging pakuha ka ng tinatawag na contractor. Just in case, totally damaged. Worst comes to worst. How much should I, lagyan mo ng bond na gano'n. Okay? So guys, ito na lang po. As much as I want to invest my time, but my time is limited already. Do you want to learn pa more? Yes or no? Yes. So unfortunately, my time is already up. But really, my specialty really, aside from teaching people on how to grow the money, is teaching people how to save up first. Sa totoo lang, anong ipang i-invest mo kung wala kang savings? Tama o mali? Sino sa inyo gustong matutong mag-ipon? Tataas mo naman. Utang. Sinong nananalangin na sana mawala na pati yung utangan mo? Katabi ko. No, seriously, I don't have time, but you can just grab this book. Please. Read this book called Diary of a What Pulube. Who among you have not yet read this book? Hindi pa nakakabasa? You should read it. Why should you read it? Let's watch this.
Anakan. Kasi may mga trabaho na sila. Pero yung ang hilig mag-travel. Oo, yung alam na nila kung magkano kikitain nila sa buwan, tapos lahat yun nakasubay for travel. So lagi ko sila pinapagod. Isang buwan, hindi ko sila kinausap. Tapos sabi ko, kikibuin ko kayo, bumili kayo ng libro, yung Diary ng Pulube. Si Chinkee, kilala niyo ba si Chinkee? Yung dating artista. Ngayon nagsusulat siya at saka nagsasalita siya, nag-i-inspire siya, nagle-lecture siya. Pinabili ko siya ng libro ng Diary ng Pulube. Yung libro na ang nipis lang, ang bilis lang basahin. Ang daming learnings. Meron doon yung travel ngayon, pulubi bukas, di ba? Maraming shopping ngayon, pulubi bukas. Ang dami kasi may ganyang problema at nagiging sakit yun.
Actually, marami pa siyang sinabi, no? I don't know him personally, but he read the book. He shared the book, and then, you know what happened? It went viral. As a matter of fact, 500,000 people already have read that book. Not only that, pag pumupunta kayo ng bookstore sa National Bookstore, tingnan niyo yung bestseller list, parating na sa top 10 yan. Oo. Oo, nasa top 10 yan. Gusto niyo malaman talaga sikreto ng isang bestseller na libro? Yes or no? Come on, yes or no? Binili ko lahat ng stocks. Ang stocks sa bahay, grabe. Okay, mga agent ha, gusto mo number 1, pumili ka na bili. No, kidding aside, the next book that I wrote is yung My Ipon Diary, teaching really people how to make ipon. This for me is very close to my heart. Why? It touches really normal people. A security guard wrote me Facebook message. So yan, dugo ko sa utang, wala akong ipon, ano gagawin ko? Sabi ko, basahin mo ito, di bro. After 2 months, itong pinadala sa aking image. Nakasave siya ng 2,000 pesos per month. Binawasan yung pag-iinom, pag-iyosi, at pagluluto. Kasi, di ba, 20 pesos a day? Di ba? Nagigets nyo?
Yes.
So he realized that he has extra money. Mag-asawa, they love to travel. Walang investment. Wala. So, sumunod sa akin. Sabi ko, read the book. After 1 year, ito yung pinadala.
Wow.
Travel fund, nilipat sa, sa investment. Nagkaroon sila ng lupa. Nagets nyo?
Yes.
Joffrey, driver, ito naipon namin after 1 year na mabasa ng book ni Sir Chinkee. Ngayon, in-organize ko yung grupo, paimpukan para matuto din kapwa ko driver at Mrs. Nahanan para next year may kunan sila. These are normal people. So, these 2 books, you can buy it online, these 2 books. And then, next, kasi my frustration talaga, especially when I give this type of talks, is after I give a talk, people minds were open, but unfortunately, they don't know what to do next. So, I put my entire coaching program in terms of budgeting inside this piece of planner. You just follow the instructions there. It's just like as if I am coaching you to write down your expenses, sulat mo expenses mo, divide the priorities, needs versus wants, priorities in terms of yung mga important na Judith na Meralco, Judith na Nawasa, Judith, di ba? Hindi, kasi you know what? If you fail to pay your credit card, you'll be charged. 3.5 or probably 10,000 is nothing, but 3.5 or 500,000 means a lot. Nagigets nyo? Malaking pera yun. So, nandito sa planner tayo, you can follow this. So, if you want to order this planner also, you can order this. So, this 2 books per book, if you order this online, 250 each. That's 500. You order this planner is 500 also. Okay? Pero may good news ako. Gusto niyo good news? Yes or no? Yes! If you order these 2 books today, as in now, I brought some, this planner, I will give it to you for free. Wow! Libre na. So during our break, can go out and then I will sign all the books for you. Okay? Thank you very much. God bless you all. Maraming salamat.
Hiring Talk. We are very much grateful for the time and effort that you have shared with all of us today. And I'm sure that we have learned a lot. Marami tayong natutunan, no? At marami rin tayong jokes na natawanan. Talaga namang nadala ni Mr. Tan yung kanyang showbiz character. Ayan.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Kami po magiging top seller next month. Matakot na kayo.